Welcome back to this Let's Play of the original official campaign for Neverwinter Nights 2. Last time we made our way into this crypt looking for a lost girl who got caught up with the wrong people, and we found a cult of shadow priests. So, hey, you know, good to get rid of those guys. Let's talk to our lost damsel in distress here. And unfortunately, when you talk to her, she summons a whole bunch of shadows. Wow, a whole bunch of them. I don't know if this will actually work, but let's see if the game actually thinks of them as summons. What the spell Dismissal does is actually destroys summons enemies. No effect. Oh well. That's about... I didn't really expect that would work, but hey, you know, I thought I'd give it a shot. We picked up a couple of those new spells last time from Bishop. One of which I'm going to throw out here is Mass Curse of Impending Blades, which is a spell that essentially reduces the armor class of enemies. Not really super important, but there's no way to avoid it, and it always works. So shadows are really kind of annoying, and they're kind of hard to hit. So I may actually just go for some friendly fire and just deal with it. Probably want to not have the animal companion die. Lesser Missile Storm, and, well,
I suppose I could say something about a Alaskan-bred dog or a house tower thrall.
Shut up, Sam.
Really,
Shut up!
Not polite to say.
The Missile Storms work pretty well against the shadows. They have some elemental immunities, so if you're trying to fight them in melee, they, that's one way to deal with them. Any left? Yeah, there's one left. Okay, I don't have any magic missiles. Come on. And you can chide her for essentially getting seduced for some cheap influence with Bishop. Now that she's done that, though, she will,
Just stay right here. Hold this spot.
she will have to be escorted out, and there's a whole bunch more shadows all over this place, so... By the way, Curse of Impending Blades also has a single target version, which I'm just going to use for the sake of using it. But, it's not nearly as useful. I suppose, you know, when you're fighting the dragon, it's worthwhile to throw it, just as a, you know, why not? But don't expect any big advantages from it.
Take this.
Now, the reason that shadows are sort of annoying is they have concealment. My main character has blind fight, but I don't think anybody else in the party does. And what blind fight does is it essentially gives you a second chance to avoid their concealment. It's not a full solution, but it's better than nothing. Great. Another room full of these guys.
Ah, it seems we have new friends.
Yeah, new friends indeed.
Hope you're ready for the fighting feud. Hope you're ready for the fight. Take this.
Time to put these weapons to some use.
Yeah, I can do it.
The other thing that's annoying about shadows is it's hard to tell when they're all dead.
Take this.
There's one more there. Is that everybody? That's everybody. Here, I'm gonna... There's a 5th level version of Reduced Person, but I don't know why they bothered to add it, but hey, you know, we've had our fun with Reduced Person before with archer characters, so might as well let Bishop join in on the fun and be the shrimp of shrimpiness with the bow. And it actually doesn't affect his damage that much and gives him a better chance to hit. And with these shadows, I'd in some ways rather have the chance to hit than the additional damage.
To some use.
And looks like we have more lambs to the slaughter.
Now, since my main character's kind of holding the door there, I'm gonna try and sort of drop a... And at least this way I'll only hit him if everything. Lesser Globe can kind of be used to get around some of the problems of
Something you want?
the higher difficulty setting as far as friendly fire is concerned. There's also a normal globe with vulnerability that will cover you up to 4th level spells, but that just adds Ice Storm. That's not really a big improvement. Are we almost out of here? I think there's one more group. No, there's at least one more group.
Follow me.
I concur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listening, really.
Oh no, really? There's something on the other side of this door. Yeah, the things my main character is fighting? Couldn't be. Disintegrate has, let's just say it's not at what it used to be. It doesn't instantly kill them, it just does damage. And it has a saving throw and requires a touch attack. It's not what I'd call a great spell anymore. But it is, I mean, it does very good damage. It's just, it has to work. And there's not much chance of it working with all those restrictions.
Yeah? Something you want?
At least these shadows are worth decent XP. Alright, finally out. Now that we've rescued his sister, let's talk to Kylie again. And, 2,000 XP. It's probably the biggest quest XP reward I've seen in a while. I'm gonna head back to the inn and do some crafting, so I'll meet you back there. Now that I have the craft magic arms and armor feat, I've been making use of it. I've put 2 enchantments so far already on this alchemical silver longsword. When you're doing enchanting, unless you're enchanting an existing item, which I don't really recommend, you want to start with either alchemical silver or cold iron, because it's essentially a free property for the weapon. Dark steel adds a +1 electrical damage, but it takes up one of the item properties, and adamantine adds 2 magical damage, which is also takes up one of the weapon properties. So I don't generally use those as base items for crafting. I also generally don't include a base weapon sort of +1, +2 enhancement unless I'm just doing a +1 for the sake of using up obsidian. The real limiting reagent for enchanting is the gems, and some of these gems, I have quite a stockpile of them now, but some of them, there's only so many in the game, so you're not going to be able to outfit your entire party with +5 weapons of, awesome. You can really only make 2 or 3 really good things, and then, other people are just going to have to put up with, for example, I have plenty of emeralds, so probably everybody's going to end up with acid weapons. This has acid on it, and electric, which required a canary diamond, which I don't have any left. The other one that's common is diamonds, which can be used for holy weapon, and not surprisingly, most of your opponents are evil, so with this alchemical silver longsword, I'm going to cast the last piece of it, and put it all together, and I'll rename the weapon. Every time you enchant it, you have a chance to rename it. And I'll call it Storm of Vengeance, since it does both acid and electric damage. And for these things, you need an essence, you need a gem, and you need a spell. In this case, I've been doing everything off of Grobnar's Use Magic device. They really bumped up the requirements on Use Magic device with some of the later patches, so you may end up having to use quite a bit of heroism and inspire competence and actually keeping up with the skill. You can also just increase charisma to get further bonuses to it. But that Storm of Vengeance there will be my endgame weapon, more or less. There's not really any reason to use anything else. The only disadvantage to it is that I do have to cast Greater Magic Weapon to make it work. So there are a couple areas where I may fall back on other things just from the sake of I don't want to bother casting it. But against most enemies it's going to be an additional 46 damage. And yeah, it's a one-handed weapon. I was kind of debating using this alchemical silver greatsword instead, but this gives me the option of going to shield if I want it, and it's really only one average damage difference, so I'm not too worried about it. Since I'm going to be using Eleni again, I'll just gain her level here. And again, nothing really particularly stunning here. Just if you don't have anything better to spend points on, Spellcraft and Tumble are sort of passively useful just in combat. So if you don't have anything better, might as well pick up those. I'm actually going to pick up Dinosaur Companion to replace her previous Badger, because I'm not a big fan of Badgers, but I'm all for dinosaurs. There's one last thing that I'm probably going to get for her eventually, which is the Persistent spell feat, but not for a while. We're here at Berlana's office in the Market District. Now, Sir Grayson here is how we continue the plot, but Berlana has another side quest for us to do, so let's just do that. I want to complete all the side quests before proceeding. Sometimes you lose access to the side quests, and I don't want to mess around with it. And it's just another... They want me to go undercover, and, well, let's just say I'm going to have to use some magic to hide my face, because I think they're going to recognize me. Just a guess. But we'll find out next time.